Our vision has always been to walk softly on the earth, but about 3 or 4 years ago we thought quite deeply about what that actually meant and were we actually walking our talk. So we re-looked at our vision and we took it out to our community, to our hapu, to our whānau, and we asked them what they wanted us to be doing with the tamariki. And one of the ones that came from there was te taiao, and we wanted to become zero waste, parikore. Anywhere we could think of that we could reduce waste, then we did that. We've always had cloth nappies. Children take a nappy home with them so they can come back to Tiaki in a clean cloth nappy, so we don't have any disposable nappies coming into the centre. And it's a part of the everyday life, the washing, the folding. Children help with that job, and it's just part of like being at home.
We're aiming for zero waste within the kitchen, and that is difficult in many ways because we started with just plastic packaging, but it actually goes a bit further than that. You know, there are things that we think are recyclable that aren't. So first to go with things like crackers and biscuits, hummus, things that came in plastic packaging that we could easily make ourselves. And then we thought it would be really good to utilise the space that we have. We have a big outdoor space here at Tiaki and we weren't really using it, so we decided we could plant gardens, and that has been amazing. We get produce all year round, it saves us lots of money, and it's awesome. We can also give back to our whānau because we have, you know, too much spinach, too much tomatoes, and it's been really good.
Because Tiaki have beautiful garden beds that they use, my child's been asking if we can plant garden beds at our house. So it's something that is not only affecting our family, but other families in the community are starting to look at health and wellbeing from the food perspective as well, which Tiaki does, and they model for our children to make it normalised.
A few years ago, we decided we would have a vegetarian meal at the noho marae. And after that, we had some really awesome feedback about that. The whānau were really keen to know the recipes that we'd used, and they really loved what we'd provided. So that got us thinking again, and we decided that if the kids were liking it and we could provide it in a way that was healthy and nutritious, that maybe we should look at moving to a vegan, a plant-based menu. And so that's how the thinking sort of started.
When we first found Tiaki, the property, we didn't really understand about the importance of its location, and it wasn't really until we were here and started going out into the community that we started making more of a connection with the hapu.
And Tiaki is really about providing knowledge, because the ti in Tiaki, ti is tini, that means the many people. Aki is how you encourage that. And you can only encourage that if you've got a bit of knowledge in what you're doing.
We wanted to make sure we committed to going one day a week up to the marae, so the children became really comfortable being there. They were able to understand the protocols and understand what happens at a marae.
Our daughter comes to the marae every Friday, so this is she belongs here. She has that sense of belonging and that sense of identity, which I think when students come to school, they have that self-worth and they have that sense of identity.
One of the greatest things about, if you're talking well-being, then it's respecting that. You know, everybody's different cultural differences, and you can only respect that. You've got a good values base, and Tiaki, understanding the fullness of the word Tiaki te. Ko te tini me te mana aki.
We would go out for walks, and of course children naturally gravitate towards water, to the lake, and one day we were there and there was a sign up saying that there was pollution had gone into the lake, so you couldn't swim in it. And that really got the children, you know, talking about, well, how can this happen? You know, what can we do to make this better? And over the last 7 years, each of those children have spent a day down at the wetlands and they plant harakeke, they look after the area, they connect with it, they swim in the lake, they can sit on the shoreline and look out to Makoia Island and think about Hinimoa, our brave ancestor who swam all that way. And so it's a real sense of belonging and a real connection. These are real life things that they can connect to.
As a parent, I've noticed that my child spends a lot more time in the outdoors, being in Tiaki, they have this beautiful space and this environment that they take the children out to, like the wetlands, and they go on hikois weekly. But her connection with Papatūānuku is something that she's starting to articulate and really notice the environment and how she can improve it and how that affects her life. What should we make? A hot chocolate or a fluffy or a potion? And so for them to be prioritising the health and wellbeing first means that everything else happens because of it. I mean, I think if you don't have that strong sense of identity and self-worth, the learning's not going to happen.
This is a journey we've been on, and it's been a journey for all of our kaiako. They've all come on board with the kaupapa and taken responsibility for different areas to work on, and it's a journey we'll continue because we know that Papatūānuku needs our help, and we want the children to have as many opportunities as they can to feel like they can make a difference in the world.